Hey, what's happening, guys? B here, and I want to talk a lot about powering up gear. So I've had a few days to really dive into it and see what it's all about. So for those of you who don't know, you can power up your gear past Legendary now. At least in my realm you can, and in the older realms. You're going to need to get the materials to do that from the Sanctum of Power, and it's these power-up gear chests. So you get these gear chests, they'll appear in your items as you're doing these levels, you'll slowly accumulate these gear chests. You get a couple each run usually. They'll appear in the items. You open it up like any normal treasure chest, and it'll drop 4 different materials. So in those 4 materials, if you have the Mythic Forge unlocked, you can then power up your gear past Legendary, assuming you get it to Legendary. So let's say you have all Legendary gear set. I've got quite a few on this account, and thanks to that Sanctum of Power, I'm getting closer and closer to more and more. But any of these gold items, I can go beyond Legendary if I have the materials. So let's dive into this, guys. And you can get really good boosts past Legendary in here. So there's 4 different mats. There's the mat that'll power up Sentinel, and it'll power up Arbiter. So this is the rune-scribed plates. So it'll power up Sentinel gear, Arbiter gear, Hunter gear, Gunslinger gear, and also the Light Forge gear. So the gear you're going to want for the dungeon runs for the guild hall. This also is powered up by that same rune-scribed plate. So this is the easiest one to get, and it powers up the weakest gear. The ones that are most exciting to me in this, man, and guys, I think this is such a cool introduction to the game too. Like, let me just rant about this for a second, because now finally we can make our old, outdated, useless gear useful again. So like the Sentinel gear was so good right when the game came out, and then it's kind of been passed along. But now we can power up this Sentinel gear and give us city defense armor bonus, and it's pretty significant, guys. So we're gonna test this out and just see how far we can go with this here in a second on my farm account. But the gear that I think will be most useful to power up is if you're like, let's say you're a T5 or a T6 and you're having trouble with people attacking you a lot, I would power up the Sentinel gear for defense armor. I probably wouldn't do the Arbiter in that case. Like, you could power up the Arbiter if you want to, have stronger attacking gear, but chances are you have better gear than Arbiter to power up. But maybe not. The Hunter's kind of interesting. You can, here you get the hero attack and you get March speed. The March speed might be nice, but again, how often do you use Hunter gear? I'd probably skip that. I wouldn't power up the Wing Assassin. That seems to be one of the weakest. You get March speed, but, really, I would not power up the Winged Assassin gear. The Gunslinger gear actually isn't too bad to power up. Like, you get the troop attack, you get the warrior attack, and you get ice elemental attack bonus. So, that's not too bad. Like, you can get legendary gunslinger gear really easy. I could see powering this up just because it's cool too. So the Arbiter's kind of similar, but chances are for defensive purposes, you're going to want to power up the Sentinel with the rune-scribed. Or if you're like me and you're not worried about people attacking you and you've already got good gear, like if you've got the Magitech Alpha gear or if you've got Archaean gear, chances are you're going to have to power up that Sentinel so much for it to be worth it. You'll probably want to power up your Light Forge gear. So that's what I've been doing. So now here's the first dilemma you're going to have, guys, with this is, do you power up one gear a lot? So do you take one gear to 9, or do you power them all up individually? And the answer to that is, if you know that this is your best gear set and you're going to be using this gear set for a while, your best bet is to power them up individually. And so power them up each to 2, then each to 3, then each to 4. Point for point, you'll get the most reward that way. Or you can just power up one gear piece a lot. And I've been toying with that idea. I think I'm going to do that for more of my attacking gear. And the reason is, if you power up one a ton, you're not going to get as much health and physical damage as you would if you powered them all up in unison. But the cool thing is, if new, better gear comes out, say next week, if we get like a new guild hall gear, which probably isn't going to happen, but just say we do. Suddenly this gear piece might still be useful, whereas all those others that you sank points into might kind of go by the wayside. So, because it has to be better than the new gear. So that's kind of something you should think about. But if you're just content with using the same gear set, if you power them all up individually, you'll get the most reward for that. Also, if you're mixing and matching gear, maybe you don't want to power up the whole gear set. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that with my attacking gear. So moving on, so there's the Rune Scribed. There's also the Magitech Salves. And this will power up like your Guardian gear, your Magitech Alpha gear. It will power up your Glacian and also your Mercenary gear. So that's actually the third tier material. I skipped one. There's the one that powers up. It'll power up your Arania gear and your Reaper gear and your. Sadly, I don't have any. Actually, I can show you guys on my other account. But it'll power up your Beastmaster gear, your Chief Inquisitor gear, and also your Undertaker gear. So, and that is the Engineer wrenches. So it's kind of cool. You get all these. So you can, in theory, power up like one item with the mana wrench. So like one of these mid-level items. So I could power up this weapon with this material. I could power up an Arbiter accessory at the same time. So you can kind of mix and match if you want and see if you can make, a cool combination gear set. Well, I'll show you guys another thing here in a second, but we'll just go ahead and sum up this last one too. And then the Infernian, Archaean, and Hydreian gear, it uses these Magitech binding agents. So how I'm going to do this, guys, I've already decided in my mind. Actually, real quick. So in my opinion, the best gear sets, if you're going for defense, you're going to want to power up the Sentinel, and you're going to want to power up the Undertaker. And then if you can power up the Guardian also and have a combination of those three, that would be really good, because the Undertaker, it gives you HP and city defense HP, and that's going to be so useful if you're getting attacked a lot. So, if you can mix and match the Undertaker, the Guardian, and the Sentinel, that would be pretty awesome for defensive purposes. And each one of those takes a different material to power up. So you can power up all three at the same time. So you got to kind of decide which items do you go with. Personally, I like the Sentinel Accessories and the Undertaker Accessories. So if you could power up one Sentinel, one Undertaker, and then the Guardian Helmet, the Guardian Chestplate, the Guardian Boots are awesome. And for weapon, that's kind of up to you. Maybe you even want to use a different gear set weapon. I would toy around with that. Really decide for yourself. It's going to be different for everybody depending on where you're at, what gear you have. And then if you're where I'm at in the game, more attacking, I would go Lightforge. I'm thinking about powering up an Arania weapon. Or maybe not the weapon, but one of these pieces. I don't know which one yet. But I'd like to power up one because you get armor piercing. And I think that armor piercing with the troop attack, that's a pretty cool bonus. So I'd love to get some armor piercing from gear. So I'm going to probably power up one of those weapons. Or maybe not the weapon, but one of those gear pieces. I definitely want to power up... you could power up the Guardian Boots. That wouldn't be too bad. I don't have the Legendary Guardian Boots yet, though, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to power up the Archaean Helmet. And I think the Archaean is a really good gear set to try and power up. Now, the catch is I have to power up one item quite a bit before it's going to be better than my Infernian gear. So I'm just going to keep powering up the weapon with every the weapon? Why do I keep saying weapon? I'm going to keep powering up the Archaean Helmet, the Archaean cask, close enough. I'm going to keep powering up this with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as high as I can get it with my Magitech binding agents. And I really like the Archaean bonus because it gives troop HP, troop armor, and earth elemental. And those are all three. They're going to be really good. Like, they're good for everything, right? You could use the HP. The HP is good everywhere. It powers up your mercenary troops, your base troops, everything. That's just awesome. And then the troop armor, same way. That's going to be useful in every situation imaginable. And then the earth elemental is kind of nice for defense. and it's attack, and attack's what you want for the elemental troops. So awesome. I'm going to be powering up this. It'll be a while before it's powered up enough. Well, actually, it's probably with those, it's probably better than my Infernian helmet. So I'm trying to remember. Actually, this is a really good helmet. So I'll be powering up this helmet with my binding agents. I don't have the Magitech Alpha Gear Legendary yet, but I'm going to save all my... I'm going to go ahead and save all my salves for my Magitech Alpha Gear. And probably power up, maybe, I'm not sure, between the accessory or maybe I'll probably power up the body armor. So the Magitech body armor when I get it, the Archaean Helmet, those two together are really awesome. And then all the other gear I'll stick with Infernian for now, because it's going to be a long time before I'd have to power up a gear so much to be better than this Infernian gear, because this is awesome gear. And Infernian gives you troop attack, warrior attack. And it also gives you cavalry armor piercing, which is kind of nice because, warriors are good against cavalry. So if you're piercing the armor on the cavalry with warriors, you're just going to shred cavalry to bits if you power up this gear. So, and that's the Magitech binding agent. So the binding agent is the same materials to power up the Archaean as it is the Infernian. So I'm just going to be powering up the Infernian. Geez, I'm struggling today. I'm just going to be powering up the Archaean, and I'm not going to bother powering up my Infernian gear. Because I just want to make this helmet the best helmet known to man. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be saving up all my binding agents for the helmet. Yeah, so that's my plan. And so maybe in our Rania gear piece, the helmet here, and that's really it for now, and my Lightforged gear. And I'm going to stick with powering up each one of these at the same time, so get them all to 3, get them all to 4, get them all to 5. This one I powered up to 9 just to see if the bonuses were exponential, and they don't appear to be. So it just costs more to get the same bonus that you would get, right? Because that's 9% and 7%. Let's see if that's the same for the lower level. 9 and 7, 8 and 7. So it's pretty close, guys, for a lot cheaper. So yeah, definitely, if you're going to use that whole same gear set, I'd power them up all at the same, 2 to 3, 3 to, get them all to 2, get them all to 3, get them all to 4. That's what I should have done, but it's nice. Sometimes you want to test out and see just how it works. So that's what I did with that one I got to 9. So real quick, guys, we're going to move on. And this here, so I just switched accounts. This is my Troop Eater account, my farm account. So I'm trying to make this a trap for other unsuspecting people who think they can take out a low level, low power level account. I guess I'll show you guys where I'm at on this. So I've got one Sentinel Accessory, and I'm going to power that up as much as it'll go. I've got no Undertaker Legendary, but I am going to save the materials for when I do get one of these Undertaker pieces to Legendary. I'd love to get, let's see here, 115 for the helmet. We've got 189 for the body armor. Now I already have I've got Archaean, and I've also got Magitech Alpha Gear. So really most of these I would have to power up a ton before it's going to be better. I think I'm going to go with an accessory, to be honest. I'll power up an accessory when I get a legendary one. 86% HP, but as you power it up, you get that city defense HP. So I'm going to, once I get a legendary, I'll be powering that up. I'm going to go ahead and power up this Archaean accessory. Archaean, I am struggling today, guys. Sorry about this. Pay attention to what I mean, not what I say here, guys. The Sentinel Aggie's accessory, that's what I will be powering up. And I really want to power up, again, the Archaean helmet and then the Magitech Alpha body armor. So the body armor, the helmet here, the Undertaker accessory, and the Sentinel accessory. And I've been using my Magitech Alpha gear quite a bit, so it'd be nice to power up each one of these, or at least power up the body armor, the boots, the weapon, and then 2 accessories, or 1 accessory. But you know, it's going to take me a long time to get the materials to do that. So I'll just stick with the body armor for now. And let's do this, guys. Let's power up some. Let's start with this accessory. Look at that. So for 10, you get 97% armor, 73% earth elemental armor. Nice. Now we're talking, oh man, this is going to go up a lot. Okay. Okay. You know, guys, chances are if you're going for defensive purposes, I would just make sure you power up at least one accessory here. You know, if you have good Magitech gear or good Archaean gear or Infernian gear, I bet you we could power up this to be better than one of those gear pieces. So let's find out. Now we're at 249, and so really this is the one we want. So we got 249, 325, 401. Oh, so I need to power up my Mythic Forge, guys. Interesting. So you can only power it up, I'm guessing, to the level of your Mythic Forge. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Yeah, so I need to power up my Mythic Forge. I think I'm only at 6 on my Mythic Forge. So that's good to know. So we got up to 400% armor on an accessory. I don't know if that's going to be better. That's not better than my Magitech accessories. We got 100 here. 100 HP versus 400 armor. That's actually pretty close. If my Mythic Forge was higher, we could definitely make this accessory better than the basic Magitech accessory for defense. So that's really cool. Unfortunately, you need that Mythic Forge powered up, apparently. And mine's at 6. I don't think I have the materials. Oh, I do! Oh, let's do this, guys. Let's power up this Mythic Forge here. Nice. I don't even know where those came from. Yeah, let's just use a 20 or 7. 7 will work. Nice. All right, let's do this. So we need to upgrade this Mythic Forge. Hopefully we can get 2 levels. We'll probably just get 1 though. Yep, just 1. No problem. Let's see if that'll get us a little farther on this. So we'll get the 477. Oh, we can keep going. 553, 629, 705. So it doesn't, as long as you get your Mythic Forge to 7, I guess we can keep going here. So, oh man, this is getting pretty good. So actually we got all the way to 11, or to 10. I guess this is what we have, a 10. That's 781% city defense armor bonus. That's going to be better than my Magitech Alpha accessory for defense, because that's going to give us so much armor. Let me just confirm that. So let's go to my inventory in the good old armory. Let's see what we got. So this gives us 125% troop armor and 781% city defense armor. That's 900% armor, guys, for, you know, for a cheap old accessory. And this Magitech Alpha, it gives us 102% troop HP and 60% troop attack. Actually that armor and some of that HP are my gems here. So yeah, guys, awesome. So we just made this Sentinel accessory better than my Magitech Alpha accessories. So it's usable. There we go, guys. That easy. Awesome. And let's see if I have enough to power this up. Probably not. Probably not yet. Not yet. But I will be powering that up at some point, and I'll be powering this up at some point. So boom, boom, boom. And I need the Undertaker accessory. I need to get that to Legendary. I'll power that up. So show you guys what my defense gear will look like. I'll be going with the Magitech Alpha Body Armor, because that's awesome. The Archaean Helmet, because it's awesome. For weapon, I think I'll stick with my Magitech Alpha because it gives you both HP and attack, and pretty good HP at that. So awesome. We've got the, let's see, the Magitech, we got HP 200. Okay, yeah, I'll go with the Archaean boots. We'll get that attack. We're trying to capture heroes after all. We'll go with, probably a Magitech Alpha accessory, an Archaean accessory, and also now the Sentinel Aggies accessory. So we've got some troop armor. It's nice to have a good mix of HP and armor for defense. So it's good we got that armor in there now. Awesome. That's what it's looking like, guys. I'm pretty pumped about that. So in terms of what gear to power up, it's going to be completely dependent on where you're at. If you're defensive, I definitely power up a Sentinel, at least some Sentinel and some Undertaker if you can. And if you have Magitech Alpha gear, that's probably going to be better. And in that case, I'd do something like what I did and just power up one accessory to make that one accessory good enough to use. And now we're set, guys. We are set for defense. We're going to capture some heroes with this. I can feel it. Now I just need to build some troops up and kick some butt. Man, that's looking like solid defense gear. Let's see. I might even, if I have enough materials, I might even power up a second Sentinel accessory and use that instead of the Archaean. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do at some point. It'd be pretty cool to have two. That or I need to level up my Mythic Forge. I need to get some mats for my Mythic Forge, I guess. The best place to get mats for that, if you have the Moogle Market, you can get mats there. I don't have it. You get some mats in the items. If pretty much every pack you buy, you have a chance of getting some in the anniversary chests. I might even have, if I could get some keys, I do have the secret, what do they call it? The sealed anniversary chests. I've got a bunch of these, but I don't have the key for it. Yes, I could use those keys. Well, I'm kind of rambling on, but yeah, so, man, guys, I think this is really awesome they added this to the game, especially as long as you can get the contracts in these events. Now, for some reason, the combined events, they don't give you adventures contracts in the Tier 3, but a lot of the other events do. So I would keep checking every hour. And some people have said that they found a way there's like a glitch that you can get these same events to come back. So like if you get the resource gathering event, which is probably the easiest to get, supposedly if you're accessing this event at the same time as the event switches over, so in 30 minutes and 9 seconds, if you're accessing this right at that moment, apparently you can get it to respawn. I haven't had any luck with it though. I don't know. It might just be a translation error when people were telling me about it, but some people have said they've been able to do that. I'd love to be able to do that because if you can just keep doing this same resource gathering event each hour, it'd be really easy to get like 24 contracts because you could even stagger when these get back. Yeah, guys, so awesome. I'm pumped about this power up. I think it's going to be so many different implications. And one thing I was going to check is, can you see what level other people's gear is powered up to? And the answer is yes. So you can see what other people's gear level's at. That's going to be useful, if that was hidden, if it didn't display what other people's gear level was at, then you could really trap people easily. But it does display it. So as long as you have some idea of what a level 9 gives in terms of gear, you can kind of gauge how strong somebody's gear is going to be. Now, you still can't see the gems, though. So the gems are going to be pretty important for capturing people's heroes and stuff. For good trap accounts, have really good gems. They won't see it coming, but they can see the gear level. So that is kind of cool, though. I think it would be kind of overpowered if you can't see what somebody's gear level's at, because they might just have like crazy levels on their gear, and you'd have no idea. But now we do know, so that's cool. Awesome, guys. So power up your gear, get after it. If you're in a younger realm and you don't have the Sanctum of Power yet, I would save contracts for it because it's that good. You get thousands of chests. Yeah, you get thousands of chests. I've done maybe like 30 runs on this account, and I'm just stocked with materials. Like, I am absolutely stocked with materials. Let's see if I can show you guys. So I haven't ever bought any. The only gear packs I've got on this account was an Archaean and a Magitech Alpha. And you can see I'm just loaded with mats right now. So I'm sure once I get loyalty to open up slots that I can craft more gear, that's what I'll be doing. But yeah, I need to farm loyalty on this account. I kind of slack on this one, not gonna lie. I should do way more work on this one than I do. But you know, I'm just loaded on mats. And that was from 20 runs, guys. So all this is 20 runs. Not too bad for 20 runs. So yeah, I'm kind of rambling on, so I'll shut it down here. Hopefully, that was probably pretty incoherent of an episode, just bouncing around from thing to thing. But yeah, hopefully I didn't just babble on and talk about nothing for half hour there. But oh well, guys, I'm out of here. Take it easy. Hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys are tearing up these dungeons and guild halls, and get ready for RVR tonight. So Drone B out.